Travis Wingetsell. Again, the Salt Lake Tribune has breaking news about how Mormons are just incapable of being good people. They are now covering up a covered-up murder in the early 1900s by the Mormons of Panguitch, Utah. The story was recently broken as what's his name here? Stephen Lee is a researcher who determined that 12 bodies of children are likely burned at the site of a former indigenous boarding school in Panguitch. Dear God. So yeah, there was a dig, found the kids, and this researcher determined that they were burned at that site. Grisly, horrifying murder that took place there. And so, because he's discovered that it was murder by Mormons in the state of Utah in the city of Panguitch has forced him to resign. That's not suspicious or criminal, is it? So, they use indigenous. They're not. Indigenous means they originated from the land. They are prior to Europeans. We'll just put it that way. And no, I'm not saying that the Book of Mormon is true. As a history, they migrated. They are settlers in origin themselves. But again, they're using definitions that take us away from the truth of history. And everybody originated from Egypt, well, south of Egypt in Africa. And I have some new Somali friends who claim we're all descended from Somali. I don't know if they watch my other videos or not. Hi guys. But my 23andMe DNA came back and said I'm Somali. Not recently. They found a marker for back in time, and so I've had to do a pin to let people know that it's not the white tribe of Somalis that came in most recently in the history. But yeah, it's just, when you purposely leave out sources and causes, you cause a lot of problems, and when you cover it up, it makes things worse. So and kudos to Alistair Lee Bistoli from 2 hours ago. So six-ish. Yeah, just how much more do we need to hear about the church before somebody steps in and shuts them down again? Dear God. When Panguitch was settled in March 1864 by several families, and I tried to find out which ones they were, and that information is being kept covered up. I found one at least, if not maybe a couple others. The movie Contact with Jodie Foster has a religious terrorist from Panguitch. Yeah, it's just, I mean, come on, guys. I did know a woman in the singles ward. That's right, she was from Panguitch. She told me she was from Panguitch. It just came to memory. Yeah, it was after I had heard that to start up a conversation, you need to compliment a woman's shoes. So, being the humorous guy that I was sitting next to her in church and leaned over to her and said, oh, nice shoes. And she responded with, oh, would you like to wear them? So that sort of backfired, given false information on how to think of chicks at church in the singles ward. So I never tried that one again. And to include the history of why Brigham Young sent them there in 1864, the days of 47, July 24th, 1847, was when Brigham Young came in and declared this is the right place, and it's been wrong ever since. And he established the Kingdom of Deseret for 1 year. The United States came in the next year. Mexico seceded the territory to the United States, and the United States had it designated as Utah Territory. It included Wyoming and some other stuff. And Brigham Young was dethroned and allowed to be governor, the first governor, but he couldn't behave himself, sent terrorist threat letters to the government, and they kept chasing out federal judges and other federal officers, and so the United States dethroned him from being governor, put in somebody else, and then Utah under Brigham Young kept chasing out them, wanted them out of their kingdom. And so you can see what happened in 1864 with the resettlement thing. As Brigham Young was trying to reclaim the land through an infiltration of the United States territories, to send Mormons, Mormon family groups, to live in various parts, north and south, somewhat east and west, to build up Mormon communities and then grow into townships, to help with their takeover plan for, wait for it, now. Gone over that with you in the Book of Mormon. And so, yes, Panguitch was one of those places where Mormons were supposed to blossom as a rose, and apparently they burned children and covered it up. And so, that explains it. The church wants their kingdom back, and will cover up murder to do so.